Hey guys, how's it going? It's Danconia and welcome back to the Overwatch League Roundup. Stage 3 Playoffs Preview. Yes, it's that time again. It's time for stage playoffs. These will be your last stage playoffs of the season. The change to the season and the way it runs compared to last year means there will be no stage 4 playoffs. They will be replaced by the play-ins that are the 7th to 12th playoffs for the overall season playoffs. So there won't be any stage 4 playoffs. So this is the last time in a stage where you can play for money. Now, we know the teams that will be taking part. It is the New York Excelsior, Vancouver Titans, Hangzhou Spark, San Francisco Shock, Seoul Dynasty, Los Angeles Valiant, Houston Outlaws, and the Shanghai Dragons. I believe this is the first time that the Vancouver Titans don't come in as top seed. That goes to the New York Excelsior, as they were the only team that were unbeaten during this stage. Obviously, the money on the line, 500k prize pool in total, 200k to the winners, 100k to the second place team, third and fourth will get $50,000, and fifth to eighth will get $25,000, so everyone gets something. And for the Houston Outlaws and the Valiant, who would have thunk it, looking at the first two stages of the season, if he could talk properly. So, the games that will kick us off will be on Friday, July the 12th at 2 a.m. in the morning. Thank you. Thank you very much. The first game will be the Houston Outlaws taking on the Vancouver Titans. Now, Houston are on the up, but I don't think they're quite that far up. I think Vancouver should get past Houston Outlaws quite easily, unless the Outlaws throw some really, really weird stuff at them. But it would be a heck of an upset for Vancouver to lose this. I think they should get through. At 4 a.m, we have the Shanghai Dragons taking on the New York Excelsior. Excelsior are rejuvenated of late. They looked slightly iffy in the first two stages, but now we've got Sabiobi back in the lineup on that Sombra. It seems to be working, and it seems to be providing a lot of fruit for the Excelsior. They should be able to get past the Shanghai Dragons. Although, the Dragons could pull an upset here. Although, one plus side for the Excelsior, I suppose, is you don't have to be afraid of Nene's grabs. Oh, that's an awkward one. I would still expect Excelsior to get past this, but I think this will be a closer game than the previous one. And Shanghai could throw some really interesting DPS comps at the Excelsior, and we'll see how they react to them. The other two fixtures will be on Saturday, July the 13th. 2 a.m, we have the Seoul Dynasty taking on the San Francisco Shock. Yes, Seoul look okay, but they are not the San Francisco Shock. I think the Shock should be able to win that one, and that might actually be the most clear-cut game. I know that sounds silly, you know, when we've got the Houston Outlaws taking on Vancouver, but I really think that could be the most clear-cut game. And then the last game to wrap up the quarterfinals it would be at 4 a.m, and this will be an interesting one. This is the Los Angeles Valiant making their debut in the playoffs this season against the Hangzhou Spark. Hangzhou Spark, they had a really good playoffs. Despite going out to the Shock, I believe, in Stage 2 playoffs, they beat the London Spitfire in those playoffs, and they beat them convincingly. So, I think Hangzhou Spark should be able to get through here. If I was looking at these four fixtures, I'd say your semi-finalists should be Vancouver, New York, San Francisco, and Hangzhou. I know that's a bit obvious because they're the top 4 teams in the league right now, but I think they've got that little bit more than the other teams have, although there are teams that could cause upsets, like the Valiant, the Dragons, and the Outlaws. I think the least likely upset we would see would be Seoul Dynasty taking down the San Francisco Shock, because I don't see that happening. I just don't see that happening at all. Valiant, though, they could really, really turn some heads here if they knock out the Spark. And at the moment, they look capable. So this looks like a game that is perhaps a bit tough to predict. I expect the desk will flip-flop on this one. Obviously, the other games will be the semi-finals and the final. They will take place on Sunday, July the 4th. So the semi-final will take place at 3 a.m. in the morning, and the other semi-final will take place at 6 a.m. in the morning. Oh, Blizzard. Thank you very much. And then the final will be at 9 p.m. So, who do I think will be there? Well, if we look at it this way, it It's either because I don't think Vancouver and New York can meet each other in the semi-finals because my phone is going off for some reason. But I don't think the Vancouver Titans or New York can face each other in the semi-finals because they were the 1 and 2 seeds. So it would be Vancouver versus the Shock or Vancouver versus the Hangzhou Spark, and then New York versus the Shock or New York versus the Spark. I would like to see New York play the Shock. I think New York can beat the Shock currently off their Sombra play. I really think they can do that. So I don't think New York are afraid of any tie in this playoff apart from Vancouver. But I don't think New York should. New York will probably go into this favourites, simply because the slight meta shift towards Sombra and more DPS favours them over the Vancouver Titans. So I think this is the first playoffs where we see the Vancouver Titans perhaps not be the favourites. Who do I think will win it overall? I think New York will win it. I think New York will win it. Who would I like to see win it? Hangzhou Spark. I'd love to see Hangzhou Spark win it. They're more the Valiant. I mean, the redemption arc for Valiant then would be complete. But Hangzhou Spark, I would like to see them win it. I think the only thing that team is missing right now is a I don't want to say trophy in the cabinet because there's no trophy, but a win on the board in terms of a stage, because they've looked very good in stage 3. They could be the dark horse of this stage playoff, but I don't know. I can't see past Excelsior right now. And it's not very often I say that, because very often I'm critical of Excelsior and the fact that they can choke in playoffs. But they looked improved in stage 2 playoffs, so I would punt for the Excelsior right now. So that, or those, are your fixtures for the stage 3 playoffs. It's going to be an interesting one. It's probably going to be the most competitive playoffs we've seen because of the wacky metas. Metas is what the wacky meta we're in. Because the meta is in a weird place where a lot of different teams play a lot of different stuff. And it's quite easily possible that Houston or Shanghai or Valiant, with their DPS heavy comps, could throw Vancouver, New York or Hangzhou for a loop. And we could get some anomalies in terms of results. But we will wait to see for that one. The next Roundup video will not be related to this in some respects. It will be the start of win conditions. We will start off with the Vancouver Titans for that, which is not a difficult one to work out considering they're already qualified for the playoffs. But there we go. We will start off win conditions. They should come out every day. I can't make any promises, but they should come out every day from then on. Obviously, there will still be the Stage 3 playoff review, and then there will be the Stage 4 preview. I'm not sure when the Stage 4 preview will be out because, again, it depends when the Overwatch League decide to tell us what's going to happen in Stage 4. But there we go. And also, by the way, go to the Overwatch League website because the new commissioner has been announced. The new commissioner is called Pete. He's been involved in a lot of sports ventures and esports ventures, and he's been part of Blizzard since 2016. Very heavily involved in the Overwatch League. And I say welcome aboard, Pete. Hopefully they can take the Overwatch League into a bright new future. Pete Vlastika. Sorry, I can't say his last name properly. We'll get to know in the end. So he takes over from Nate Nanza. But that is it for your Stage 3 playoff preview. I'll be back with the Stage 3 playoff review and win conditions in the next days. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next video. See you then.